Hello everyone. Welcome to Everyday Essential series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy, where we are going to discuss the essential topics from the Hindu and the Indian Express. So today, as part of this series, let us discuss the topics from 10th June 2025, where we are going to discuss about the UN Ocean Conference, Voyager Tardigrade Experiment. The third one is Siang Upper Multi-Purpose Project SUM, and fourth one Operation Kagar, and finally the country Cyprus as part of our Map a Country a Day series. So starting with our first topic, that is the UN Ocean Conference, United Nations Ocean Conference. So why we are discussing this? There is a conference going on in the France from 9th to 13th June, and commemorating the or celebrating the World Oceans Day on 8th June. This conference was started on 9th to 13th June. So there, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said that the world could not let the deepest oceans become the Wild West. So during the conference, these are the words said by the United Nations Secretary General. And about the conference, we'll discuss that. So this United Nations Ocean Conference is being held in the Nice, France from 9th to 13th June, with the aim or with the theme that accelerating action and mobilizing all actors to conserve and sustainably use the ocean. And what is the purpose of or the objective of this UN Ocean Conference? That is the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goal 14. So what is the Sustainable Development Goal 14? It says that they conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. So this UN conference help in the implementation of this SDG 14, Sustainable Development Goal 14, which says that the ocean, seas, and marine resources should be used sustainably. And this conference this year 2025 is hosted by France and the Costa Rica nations, both the nations. And coming to the stakeholders who all are involving in this UN conference, it involves stakeholders including governments, United Nations organizations, United Nations or intergovernmental agencies, international financial institutions, NGOs, non-government organizations, civil society organizations, CSOs, and the academic institutions, along with the scientific community, private sector organizations, philanthropists, and also along with all the members, this conference also includes stakeholders from the indigenous peoples and local communities. So by involving all these stakeholders, they will have the discussions and the conferences so that they will arrive at a consensus or the declaration, which is known as the NICE, which will be the outcome of this United Nations Ocean Conference 2025. And this conference of 2025 is the third conference. So what are the first two conferences? The first conference was held in the 2017, hosted by the Sweden and Fiji in the New York City. And the second conference was held in 2022, hosted by Portugal and Kenya in the Lisbon city. So this is all about the United Nations Ocean Conference, which aims to support the countries in implementing the SDG 14. And moving to our second topic, that is Voyager Tardigrade Experiment. So why we are discussing this? We all know that the Axiom 4 mission was scheduled to launch on June 10th, that is today, but was postponed to tomorrow due to the weather conditions. And in this experiment, our Indian astronaut, that is Shubhanshu Shukla, is going to the International Space Station for the first time, and he is the second person to go to space after Rakesh Sharma. And he is going to conduct some experiments, scientific experiments, and in that experiment this is also there, that is to examine the revival, survival and the reproduction of the tardigrades in space. So we'll see what is this tardigrade experiment and what are these tardigrades. So these tardigrades also known as the water bears. Water bears or the moss piglets. So here you can see the picture of the tardigrades. These are the robust aquatic animals which have been surviving or which have been living since the nearly 600 million years. That is 200 million years before the dinosaurs itself. And these tardigrades survived all the five mass extinctions. We are now in the sixth mass extinction, that is Anthropocenic extinction. And these all survived all the five mass extinctions and still living on the earth. And it consists of the four pairs of legs. That is, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 legs and 4 to 6 claws on each foot. See here, these are the claws on each foot. And this tardigrade also has a specialized mouth. You can see a specialized mouth which help them suck the nutrients from the plant cells, algae and other small invertebrates. Through this specialized mouth, these organisms, these tardigrades suck the nutrients from the plants, algae and other small invertebrates. And coming to the distribution, these tardigrades are present everywhere on the earth. That is from highest mountains to the deepest oceans. These tardigrades are present everywhere. That is, they are present in the highest mountains and also the deepest oceans. But their common habitat is that the thin film of water, which is found on mosses and the lichens. See here you can see these are the lichens. So their common habitat is this thin film of water on mosses and the lichens. Now, why to study these tardigrades in the space? Why the Axiom 4 mission is going to study the tardigrades on space? We'll see that. Although these microorganism animals were discovered in 1773 by the German geologist Johann August Ephraim Gose. But since then, they have been a subject of intense research in the past few decades. Why? Because of its resilient creatures. These are known to survive in the harshest conditions. These tardigrades have known to be withstand as low as minus 272.95 degrees Celsius or as high as that is 150 degrees Celsius also. And these tardigrades can endure ultraviolet radiation of space and pressures of up to 40,000 kilopascals. And these tardigrades can also live after being stored in a freezer for 30 years. See, look at here. After being stored in a freezer for 30 years, these tardigrades still survive. So, due to these resilient characters, the special characters or the special features of these tardigrades, if we study and examine these tardigrades, the scientists can develop the resilient crops which can withstand any harsh climate conditions, and also to develop the advanced sunscreens for humans to protect from the ultraviolet radiation, and also for preserving human tissues for organ transplantation, as this tardigrade is alive after being stored in a freezer for 30 years. So that's why due to the special characters, the scientists are going to study about these tardigrades. And now, so why these tardigrades are so resilient creatures? Because these tardigrades exhibits these conditions, these processes. These are, one is the cryptobiosis, which means that the cryptobiosis means that a state in which an organism brings their metabolism to a near complete standstill. complete standstill in the face of adverse environmental conditions. See, if the tardigrade face any adverse environmental conditions or any other dangerous threats, these tardigrades can reduce their metabolism, that is up to or less than 0.101% of normal. That is known as this cryptobiosis. And these tardigrades also exhibit this process called anhydrobiosis, which means that they can drop their water levels by more than 95%. They can drop their water levels by more than 95% when faced with any adverse environmental or any adverse situations. This is known as the anhydrobiosis. And because of this cryptobiosis and anhydrobiosis, there emerges a durable shrunken state. Durable shrunken state. That is known as the ton. That means these organisms can withstand or they can live in a shrunken state. That is known as the ton. And these ton is a product of the result of because of these two processes, that is cryptobiosis and anhydrobiosis. And along with these, this organism, this tardigrade also produce a unique protein called cytoplasmic abundant heat soluble protein CAHS proteins, which are key to their resilience. These proteins form a gel like matrix. These proteins form a gel like matrix within their cells, thereby protecting the essential cellular components from the destruction. This protein also protects their cells from the destruction, and this allows them to withstand extreme temperatures, radiation, and the vacuum of space also. So that's why the scientists are carrying out the experiment of these tardigrades to produce the resilient crops, the development of these advanced sunscreens, and the development of the and the protection of the tissue, human tissues for organ transplantation. Now moving to a third topic, that is Young Upper Multi-Purpose Project, SUMP project. So why this is in news? See, the China is planning to establish or construct a 60 gigawatt hydroelectric project that within the less than the 50-kilometer border with the Arunachal Pradesh. So, if the China constructs this project, it will lead to flooding situation to the Arunachal Pradesh. So, in order to combat or in order to neutralize this effect, Indian government in the year 2017 has planned or announced this Siang Upper Multi-Purpose Project, which is a 11 gigawatt, 11.2 or 11 gigawatt Siang Upper Multi-Purpose Project. And all the DPR detailed project report and everything has done, but the Adi tribes are protesting against this Siang Upper Multi-Purpose Project due to the fear of losing their farmlands. And now the state-owned hydropower developer NHPC, National Hydropower Corporation Limited, is working with the stakeholders and this Adi tribes and other stakeholders to persuade them or to expedite the process of this progress of this Siang Upper Multi-Purpose Project. So this Siang multi-purpose project is a multi-purpose hydroelectric project. It is being constructed on the Upper Siang district, Arunachal Pradesh, near the Siang River, which is a tributary of the Brahmaputra, having the installed capacity of 11,000 megawatts, that is 11 gigawatts. And this project is constructed on the Siang River, which is the largest tributary of the Brahmaputra. And it involves both states, that is Arunachal Pradesh and the Assam. And this project is being developed by the NHPC, National Hydroelectric Power Corporation Limited. Now coming to the Siang River. It is the largest tributary of the Brahmaputra river system. It originates in the Chemayangdang Glacier near Kobe in the Tibet at an elevation of 5,150 meters. And After its origin in the Tibet, it flows in the west to east direction for about 1625 kilometers before entering into India. And in India, it enters in the Siang district, Upper Siang district, and it flows in the north to south direction. In India, it flows in the north to south direction for about 52 kilometers. Remember, in the Tibet, the Siang river flows in the west to east direction, and in India, it flows in the north to south direction in the Arunachal Pradesh for 52 kilometers. And after then, it meets the Lohit and the Bhang rivers in Assam, and thereby forming the mighty Brahmaputra river. And this Siang River covers a drainage basin of about 30,000 square kilometers in the eastern Himalayas. So this is all about the Sampa project and the Siang River. Now moving to our fourth topic, that is Operation Khagar. Yesterday itself only we have discussed about the Indravati National Park. Because of why? Because of this Operation Kagar only, the security forces have found 5 dead bodies of these Naxals in this Indravati National Park. So now why we are discussing this? Because the opposition members are appealing to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to put an immediate halt to the extrajudicial killings in the region around Chhattisgarh under the Operation Khagar. So we'll see what is this Operation Khagar. This Operation Khagar is a counter-insurgency initiative or the anti-Naxal movement, with an aim to manifest this Naxal Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. And it was started in January 2025, and it includes that is Red Corridor, which includes the states of Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Jharkhand, and other areas where this left-wing extremism is dominant. And it is a joint operation of many forces, including CRPF and the elite Cobra units, the District Reserve Guard, Special Task Force, and the State Police. The primary objective of this Operation Khagar, which is also known as this Operation Black Forest or the Karraguttalu, is to eradicate the Maoist influence by March 2026, thereby building a Naxal Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. Now moving to our country, Map a Country series, today we are going to learn about the Cyprus country. Why? Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to attend the G Summit, which is going to be held in Canada. And while going to Canada, he will visit the Cyprus. And after attending the session and while returning to India, he will visit this Croatia. But today, we are going to learn about this Cyprus country. This Cyprus is an island nation of the West Asia. This island nation of the West Asia in the Mediterranean Sea. Nicosia is its capital. It is the third largest and populous island in the Mediterranean Sea after Sicily and Sardinia. So the Sicily is the first largest island in the Mediterranean Sea, and the Sardinia is the second largest island nation in the Mediterranean region. And Cyprus is the third largest and the populous in this Mediterranean region. Syria, this is the Mediterranean Sea, and here it is Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, and the Egypt. And here it is the Cyprus in this shape. And this Cyprus hosts the British military bases. British military bases, those are Akrotiri and the Dekelia. Akrotiri and Dekelia, these are the British military forces. And it is a developed economy, and it joined the European Union in the year 2004. Cyprus is now part of this European Union and a Eurozone nation. And it is also applying for the NATO in the year 2024. It applied for NATO in the year 2024 but waiting for the ratification. So that's all for today. Thank you.